What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. Now that Heath, one of the greatest Mr. Olympia of all time, now that he is retired, it is great to see the funny side of him as well. He is making appearances all over the world, enjoying the fruits of his labor, which by the way he fully deserved. So I am gonna be honest here. Heath became so damn dominant over his reign, especially at his peak, and the fans in general were so bored of him winning over and over again, and he became kind of a villain. And that is why a majority of bodybuilding community wanted him to lose. They wanted to see a change in bodybuilding, and that is why there was such a great reaction when the late Shaun finally beat him in 2018. So it is always the underdog that people cheer for the most. But looking back at Heath and his reign, he did give us some of the greatest bodybuilding moments of all time on the stage. Truly one of the legends of the sport, one of the greatest of all time. Now let's start the updates with Quinton Beastward. So that Quinton reposting a comparison by who is the best bodybuilder IG page of him versus Nick Walker on his Instagram story. Is that a direct confirmation that he is actually in for this year's Neo Pro? So we will keep speculating until he confirms it or denies it. But the man is looking pretty damn lean right now. At this moment, he is looking so good. As far as the favorite Nick Walker is concerned, he isn't worried about who's gonna come in second place. So it is always so fun to watch Nick Walker's confidence, especially when he is this close to the show.
I don't know. I'm not worried about who's in second. I'm only worried about me, and that's winning.
So win or lose, if Quinton actually does the Neo Pro, this will be a great opportunity for him to see where he currently stands in the Pro League. Because we have a guy like Tony Button, who is top 10 in the world. We have a guy like Martin Fitzwater, who just came back to the stage after 1.5 years. So standing next to a guy who is top 3 in the world, and a guy who just placed top 8 last year, and Martin who can potentially be top 10 in the world this year. So this will be a great comparison, and this will also give us a very good idea about where Quinton can land in the current hierarchy of open competitors. And I have to say, with the added mass that Quinton has packed on in the last couple of years, who knows, he might shock everyone in 2024. This could be his year. With his height and his beautiful lines, his insane aesthetics, and the way he flows top to bottom, he's definitely gonna stand out on the stage, because all the other top guys, like Nick Walker, Martin Fitzwater, and Tony Button, all of these guys are like 5'7" at the most, and Quinton is over 6 feet tall. So he is definitely gonna stand out. So Quinton made his pro debut back in 2019, and it is about time we finally see what an incredible talent he is, and possibly see that talent on the Olympia stage this year. I haven't talked about Blessing Awodibu for a while now, so he hasn't been posting any updates recently, because currently he is riding that off-season wave, and he looks really strong right now, rowing those 5 plates, and that is only gonna make his back way more impressive than it already is. I mean, we have seen it in the past as well. His upper half is pretty damn impressive. He has very round, very 3D looking muscles front to back, but his lower half is just way too behind. So Blessing did lose a lot of hype after that 2023 season. He was coaching himself for Chicago Pro, where he was just way off, and then he did Flex Pro Italy, and he had a coach for that show. But still, that was an even bigger disappointment for him, and there was a reason for that. Even though he was looking way more impressive compared to Chicago Pro, he was really diced. He was in a very good conditioning, and he was going into that show hoping to win that one and getting his Olympia qualification. But not only did he lose to Nathan Diesha and Regan Grimes, but he also got beat by a guy like Shaun, and he wasn't even able to make top 4 at that show. The most surprising thing was him losing to Shaun and also to Roman Fritz, which none of us saw coming. And Blessing looked really great all the way leading up to that show. Even just a couple of days out of the show, he was looking really impressive. And he himself was really happy with how things were looking. But then he stepped on stage, and his legs just deflated really bad. And that has been the biggest criticism on Blessing throughout his career. The moment he loses the water, he loses so much size, so much volume on his legs. He has got an amazing upper half, very round and very 3D looking muscle bellies. But that is just confined to his upper body. I totally support this idea of him taking a long time off to solely focus on getting bigger, especially growing his quads. The competition is getting tougher and tougher every year, and Blessing himself also knows that he needs to step it up, especially if he wants to fight with the top guys at the Olympia stage. So I have a question for you guys. Will Derek Lunsford still be Mr. Olympia if his back wasn't as dominant as it is? I have to say, highly unlikely. One of the biggest reasons Derek is the only man in the history of the sport to have won both 212 and the men's Open Olympia title is because of his incredible back. Especially that back double biceps shot. That is just nuts. That is a lights out shot for him. And yes, I know it is only one shot, but Derek creates so much gap between him and all the other competitors, especially when he turns around. It is absolutely insane. We saw it happen in 2022 as well, when he made his Olympia debut in the men's open bodybuilding from the 212. And even that year, some of the judges had Derek Lunsford winning. And then he just leveled up so much in 2023, especially that back double bicep. That was absolutely incredible. And I have to say, this could easily be considered one of the best back double biceps of all time in the history of bodybuilding. And he is gonna keep on improving that shot even more, create more of a distance between him and everyone else. So the way his back is looking right now 6 months out of the Olympia, and he isn't even flexing anything, that is just crazy good. There are slabs of meat everywhere. The video is definitely gonna give his competition a lot of scare. I mean, just look at those lats. They are so damn wide. It certainly seems like he's gonna take off anytime. And we really like his attitude. Sometimes he is a little political, but also a very strong-minded Olympia champion, where he is confident enough to say this, that he is here to stay on the top for a while. And it doesn't matter what anyone else is saying or what anyone else is bringing. I believe we are definitely headed towards the greatest version of Derek Lunsford to date. And just think about it for a second. Even that 2020 version of Derek, who had some flaws, he got some first place awards. Imagine him being improved on chest and his shoulders region. That is gonna be really hard to beat. The former 212 Mr. Olympia champion Shaun is up next. He knows what's at stake, and this is probably gonna be the last shot for Shaun at the Olympia title, because with every year passing by, Shaun is gonna get older and older, while Quinton, on the other hand, he becomes more and more mature, and he is actually reaching his prime now. So this is the year for Shaun to bring back that 2020 version and give Quinton a serious one for his money. And Shaun needs to stick to his strengths. He came in heavier last year, and because of that, he had a distended midsection, and that too against a guy who has one of the smallest waists in the entire pro league right now, in the entire bodybuilding. And I truly believe if Shaun was as tight in the midsection as he was in 2022, who knows, he could have been 3 times Mr. Olympia champion by now. And don't get me wrong, Shaun was in a superb condition in 2023 as well. He was in an amazing shape. But the standard that he has set previously, especially in 2022, that was just way too good. And he did not peak as good this year as he did in the past. Maybe he competed at the Arnold Classic in the men's open division, and his body wasn't used to peaking twice per year. We can continue to speculate. The bottom line is, Shaun 100% believes in himself that he can win that title back. And here is the thing, he has done that in the past as well. So he looks really grainy and really big at the peak of his off-season. And as fans, we really want him to deliver. Who else is there in the 212 who has a legitimate shot at beating Quinton at his best? I have to say, there is just Shaun. So hopefully he is gonna bring his best. Also, hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video. And smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.